Human-induced climate change has a disproportionately greater effect on more people in the developing world than in rich countries. This despite the fact that they are not the root cause of the problem. Rich countries need to lead by example and move into more sustainable production and consumption patterns while supporting the most vulnerable countries, such as those of the Caribbean. Dear friends, we are all learning and trying to fix the wrong practices of the past. I wish to thank Prime Minister Eman for this invitation to be part of this conference. In fact, when he invited me some months ago, my response was immediate and affirmative. This is my very first visit to your beautiful island. From the moment I heard Minister Eman speak of the shared vision of all Arubans for sustainable energy future, I have been keen to visit to see and to learn more about this bold initiative. I am particularly impressed that a country of this size can pursue such a large and lofty agenda that is earning the attention and admiration of the rest of the world. Aruba provides living proof to the rest of the world that the size is not impediment to ambition and excellence when you have a shared purpose. Moreover, Aruba offers potent testimony to the rest of the world that even though it emits negligible amount of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, it still accepts its global responsibility to contribute to global efforts at mitigating climate change. Much has happened in the field of energy and climate in the Caribbean over the past decade. Over this time, we have seen a strengthening of the commitment of all Caribbean governments to pursue sustainable energy pathways as a means of boosting economic competitiveness, reducing their vulnerability to energy price shocks, saving precious foreign exchange, and reducing poverty. Today, nearly all Caribbean governments are implementing national energy policies and plans. And I am pleased that the Organization of American States, through its Department of Sustainable Development, has been able to support this process in several Caribbean nations. Importantly, these national policies have helped to inform the adoption of regional policies on energy and climate change mitigation and adaptation. In this respect, the Caribbean region can be proud of the fact that it is among the first regions in the world to adopt a regional policy on climate change mitigation and adaptation. Likewise, over the past decade, we have seen an unprecedented installation in nearly all Caribbean countries of renewable energy infrastructure. Jamaica is leading the way on wind energy, Barbados on solar, Antilles and Kitts and Nevis, Dominica and St. Lucia are leading the charge, so to speak, on geothermal energy. And Aruba is a clear leader among them. Importantly, too, Caribbean governments realize that action is also needed to strengthen the regulatory framework and to build the necessary capacity to support the shift of sustainable energy. Several countries have passed laws to permit the operation of independent power producers, and efforts are well advanced to establish renewable energy centers in the region. I am happy to see that the University of the West Indies and other national and regional tertiary institutions are involved in these efforts. While a lot is already being done, even more is planned. But for this to make a sustainable mark on our hemisphere and our planet, it is important that these policies become national policies that go beyond the political cycle. Technological transitions like this are never easy, and challenges will emerge in the future that have to be overcome even as we analyze the variables. For example, there will be financial challenges. The good news is that renewable energy prices are dropping and investment in the sector is increasing. The Natural Resources Defense Council estimates that over the past 10 years, global renewable energy production has more than tripled, while investment in the sector has increased to more than $300 billion. The bad news is that high upfront costs of renewable are still an issue, especially for small states in the Caribbean, who are heavily indebted and do not have the fiscal space to take on costly projects at this time. Moreover, the private sector is also struggling to overcome the effects of the Great Recession of 2008. While finance is a significant challenge, I believe it can be overcome through a strategic, innovative, and coordinated approach to resource mobilization. Such an approach is necessary for several reasons, including the fact that with the exception of Jamaica and Haiti, many countries do not have the economies of scale to encourage foreign investment in the renewable sector. Additionally, while new resources are being made available through global energy and climate funds, accessing these funds requires specialized expertise which many countries do not possess. The recent launch of SIDS-DOC, a global instrument benefiting the 44 members of the Alliance of Small Island States, point a way forward in this regard, as those the proposed Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency to be set up in Barbados this month. The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center is another important agency that is helping to address both the financial and capacity building aspects of climate change adaptation. From this, it is clear that nearly all the important pieces are in place. Notwithstanding, there is one vital piece that is missing, the region private sector. As we know, in many Caribbean countries, the electricity infrastructure is owned by the private sector, and so it is critical that governments step their engagement with the private sector, including through public-private partnerships. We, at the Organization of American States, will continue to support the region's transition to sustainable energy. In this regard, I see the Energy and Climate Partnership of the Americas as playing a critical role in helping the region to overcome the challenges that I have identified. You will recall that ECPA was born at the 5th Summit of the Americas in Trinidad and Tobago in April 2009. Its aim is to help Organization of American States member states to deploy renewable energy technologies through regional dialogue, exchange of knowledge, and capacity building. And every coin, it counts. Over the past 5 years, ECPA has been hard at work in the region. In St. Kitts and Nevis, ECPA supported a market assessment of the potential of interconnection between St. Kitts and Puerto Rico. That assessment indicated that interconnection between St. Kitts and Nevis and between Nevis and Puerto Rico would enhance the commercial viability of large-scale geothermal plants on Nevis. In Antigua and Barbuda and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, ECPA supported the deployment of photovoltaic systems. In Grenada, ECPA supported the preparation of a draft geothermal resources development bill, which is a critical platform in the development of the island 2-megawatt geothermal plant, and Dominica benefited from intensive training in geothermal resources development through EPA. Friends, the Caribbean has much to offer in several areas. I believe there is considerable scope for more to be done through direct country-to-country exchanges of technical know-how and best practices. I sincerely hope that your deliberations will lead to the cementing of the extraordinary leadership of Aruba and the Caribbean in advancing the transition in the Americas to cleaner, more efficient, and more renewable forms of energy. I reiterate congratulations to Aruba for its leadership in this exciting and all-important sector, and I thank you for the opportunity to address this conference. There is something that my dear friend, Prime Minister Iman, has said, and it's beyond doubt what is more important of all renewable resources, renewable energies, is the energy of the people. It's the energy of the people of the Caribbean, how they can build and rebuild, how they can face any natural disaster, and how they can come back with new ideas and new proposals and bringing new solutions for their own people. Facing economic disaster, facing natural disasters is a natural way of living in an island. But nevertheless, I think we should strengthen cooperation within the hemisphere and more resources, more new financial resources, new human technological resources should be provided. We should be closer to the solutions. We should be closer to the technological solutions and get as far as we can from problems. We should know how the world we want it to be in 20 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. We don't know how the energy market will be in 6 months or in 1 year, not to mention 10 years. But we know how we want it to be. Thank you very much.